It's no secret that the Fuji X100V is one of the most coveted cameras of 2023. But for somebody like me who has to pay for dog food and rent every month, you won't catch me spending 2 stacks on a point and shoot. The problem is I want to cuff my jeans, grab a retro looking camera, and go outside to shoot daily JPEGs. Well, I found this, a camera that costs a fraction of the price of the X100V, and it might still get the job done. And luckily, I think I'm the first person on YouTube to talk about it.
Today I'm going to talk about the Fuji X100.
Original X100.
Original X100.
What does this have to do with the X100? The Fuji film.
Okay, fine, there's a bunch of people in the community that have made videos on this camera. I guess I'll just be the first person to call it retro. Oh my frick, dude. Okay, I guess today we'll just talk about the X100's history, whether it holds up 13 years after its release, and we might even get a guest appearance from one of my favorite creators on the platform. I don't know, sue me.
Zach, before we begin this video, I just want to let you know that I already made a video about the Fuji X100 like 4 years ago. So as soon as your video goes live, you will be hearing from my lawyers with a content takedown notice for copyright infringement.
I'd like to show you one of the world's great cameras.
This video is sponsored by Storyblocks. More on them later on.
Here at Photokina 2010, the Fujifilm 5X X100 is making quite a stir, and deservedly. This is a really revolutionary little camera.
It's the brand new X100 premium compact camera from Fuji.
The main feature about this thing is that you have 2 different viewfinders.
Let me just say, 2010 was an interesting year for camera releases. We got the Canon T2i, the Nikon D7000, and some cheapo digital handheld camera called the Arri Alexa.
I'm not sure I understand.
I'm not talking about you.
The Arri Alexa is actually a very expensive camera with great dynamic range and used for Hollywood productions.
Alexa, stop.
2010 isn't even retro.
Okay, anyway, we also got the very unique X100 from Fujifilm. This premium quality rangefinder film style camera stood out among the rest of the 2010 releases due to its unique design, its incredible build quality, and tons of features packed into a body that was truly compact. The X100 was like ordering a shot of Fuji juice and the bartender shows up with a gallon. It was drippin', baby. It has a 12.3 megapixel APS-C sensor, a 35mm equivalent f2 lens, a swappable optical/electronic viewfinder, a built-in flash, no, not that one sucks, this one, that one's good, and how could we forget Fuji's legendary built-in JPEG film simulations. All of this came for $1,200 USD in a body that seems to be timeless to our community. But the thing is, 2010 wasn't actually that long ago.
Whoa, hold your horses there, bucko.
Bro, I'm trying to film right now. I gotta meet the sponsor deadline.
Just give me 30 seconds for a 2010 montage.
Dude, we don't have time for this. We gotta talk
Shut
about
up
the
and
camera.
watch.
Are you ready for Halo Reach?
We create the world of the dream.
Oh, Gaga was slathered in meat from head to toe.
And we call it the iPad.
Wow, 2010 does seem kind of old and lame at this point. So let's spice things up with today's sponsor, Storyblocks. In today's video, I'm using Storyblocks for all of the cool backgrounds behind the photos from the X100. It makes the visuals way more interesting than just a plain old photo chilling there, and I was able to find these really quickly by searching retro background or film or dust, grain, those kinds of things. And I also actually pulled some stock footage from Storyblocks to use in this video, and it really helped fill the thing out without me having to go find random stuff on the internet. But Storyblocks is way more than just footage and backgrounds. They have music, sound effects, and motion templates. I'm super excited actually because in December of 2023, they're adding DaVinci Resolve motion templates, which all my Blackmagic editors out there, we gotta rejoice. We gotta stay together. I'm stoked about this. I highly recommend having a tool like Storyblocks in your creative arsenal because you get unlimited downloads of high quality, royalty-free assets that you can use in any project. So don't be a dummy. If you're interested, check out the URL here on the screen. It would mean a lot to me, or click the top link in the description. Thank you so much to Storyblocks, and thank you guys for listening. Let's keep going. Now, the biggest question for me with the X100, and probably your biggest question, is does this camera actually hold up today, and does it even compare to the X100V? Maybe this sounds like a cop-out, but I think the answer is gonna vary depending on how you shoot and your personal taste in images and what they look like. Like, just being straight up honest, the photos from the X100, personally, I don't think they're as good as the X100V. For obvious reasons, it's a much older camera. It's the first in the lineup of the X100 cameras. It doesn't have all the same film simulations that the X100V has and the customizability, but also you can get solid results from this camera. You just have to make sure really that you're giving it enough light and you're taking your time shooting. That's the biggest thing with this camera. You have to slow down and work around its limitations. The first limitation is the overall speed of this camera. The old autofocus system and processor are going to force you to slow down and take your time getting a photo. But this can also be a really nice thing. Taking your time, getting the right exposure in camera, getting the composition you want, and snapping that photo can be very cathartic and peaceful and actually help you slow down in life and just enjoy the things around you. It can also really piss you off, which is a lot of what happened to me. I don't like to just sit there for 2 minutes trying to figure out the exposure dial in the optical viewfinder and then switching to the digital and still being confused, taking a photo and it's way darker than I thought it was gonna be and then trying it again. But that's just me, you know, I like having a point and shoot to document, you know, whip out, take quick shots of my friends or something funny I see or something beautiful I see. And this camera definitely made me slow down and take my time. I have a theory about cameras like this, and that is that they kind of force you to look at the world in a different way. Almost, at least for me, like I'm looking at the world for its beauty. I'm looking for the good things or something worth capturing, something that catches my eye, that like gives me joy. At least that's what I like about photography or just documenting, is like finding the good things. Obviously, I'm not going out looking for like crime to photograph.
Cheese! Crap, mega crap. I'll give you $200 for all of them.
And the second limitation, in my opinion, is the film simulations that are built into the camera. The X100 only comes with a handful of simulations. There's some like sepia ones and black and white ones, color ones, and there's just not the same level of customizability as the X100V for obvious reasons. I did find this guy, Ross, and his JPEGs, really cool channel. He made this video going through like creating the best recipe for the X100, and I shot with it quite a bit, and it's pretty cool. You can definitely get some good results. I just feel like the photos I got straight out of camera weren't what I was hoping to get. I feel like I would have to edit these to get them to a place where I was really pleased with them. Definitely go check out his video on his recipe and the X100. I'll link it below.
A camera in a class of its own. FinePix X100.
I think genuinely I would not pay more than $300 for this camera. But don't get me wrong, you can still get incredible images out of this camera. I've seen people on YouTube getting beautiful photos, and I'm just not the best photographer either, which is why something like the X100V is so appealing, because I don't consider myself a great photo editor. I want something built in to just document my life, and I don't want to use my phone. I just want a camera, something tactile. That's what Fuji gives me. That's why we started Fuji Juice, man. It's tactile and it feels good to use. I'm just not 100% excited about the photos that come out of this thing. But if there's one man on YouTube in our space that you can trust when it comes to like modern versus older tech and gear, it's Patrick Tomaso.
I've had the original Fuji X100 for probably 5 years now, which is crazy to think about it because I hardly use it anymore. But the reason I bought this camera to begin with is I wanted a film-like shooting experience with a digital camera. I tried to shoot film. I was one of those suckers that got looped into the whole algorithm of film crap on YouTube, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be one of those guys that shoots film. That sounds like fun. My images will look so much better if I shoot on film. But the thing about film is it's extremely expensive and you have to be patient. So that is where the Fuji X100 came into play. And to be completely honest with you, when I bought this camera, the V wasn't as hyped as it is now because of TikTok and these stupid Instagram reels. I could do an entire video just about how stupid it is to spend the amount of money that the X100V is going for. That's just ludicrous.
They got deep pockets? Real deep.
But for less than $1,000, you're gonna get this amazing shooting experience that feels like shooting film, but all of the benefits of still shooting digital. But let me say, the best thing about this camera is that it sucks. Everything about this camera is slow, clunky, and awful by modern standards. But in my opinion, that is what makes it so damn great. You have to be slow and intentional when you do your shots with this camera. Focus on composition, focus on lighting, focus on framing, all of the fun stuff that actually makes a good image. It's not just slapping a film sim on and feeling cool because you have a hipster looking camera. So if you just want something fun and you don't feel like shooting film, absolutely, Fuji X100, fantastic. Do not spend the money on a modern Fuji X100VI. Stupid purchase. Zach, my lawyers will be in contact shortly.
I gotta go call my lawyer, but let me know in a comment which piece of retro tech or gear I should try out next. And text me when you get home so I know you're safe, because I care about you. All right, love you so much. Bye.